Mr. Craig, who do we have today, Mr. Craig?
Oh, I'll tell you who we have. Could be.
Okay.
It is Mark Mercer. And you know what he's doing?
Oh, you tell me.
He's dropping mad knowledge nuggets on your agency's back doorstep.
Oh, I'll pick up those nugs. Let's toss those around for a bit.
Let's do it.
Done.
Buckle up. It's the Insurance Dudes Podcast.
Boom! Boom!
What's up, boys?
Boom!
How's it going?
Look at all those tats down there, man.
Uh-oh.
California, brother.
Yeah.
How you guys doing, man?
Good. How you
doing,
Mark?
Good, man. Good. Can't complain.
Yeah, look at all suited up, dressed up just for the insurance dudes.
I'm rocking Jordans if that dresses it down a little bit in the background.
Good.
Love it.
So,
Good. Sort of Run DMC style.
Yeah. I like the old school.
Or they were
Jordans. I'm a
Adidas.
Chicago guy, you know. What we do.
Yeah.
Here's one fun fact that I'm noticing. We all have high hair.
Yeah.
That is neat.
Oh, look at that.
Yes.
With the shaved sides.
High and tight. Barber's done.
Yep. It's almost going back to like Vanilla Ice and stuff, kind
I've
of
been called that.
that we're all doing.
I've been called that. I don't think it's a compliment, but I've been called that.
Dude, I love Vanilla Ice. And I don't know why he got so he's so weird about his old image, but it's so good.
He should embrace it. That's all he's got.
He should. I know.
And
Here's all he's got.
He's got more money than we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he make a lot? I mean, it was just the one, right?
Dude, it was like 20 million albums in like this much time.
And that's when you made money selling albums, even if he just did one. I mean,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Maybe he wasn't the best at budgeting. So
MC Hammer wasn't.
Well,
No.
yeah, that I was just gonna say.
no.
And I hung out with both of them on the same day at Michael Jackson's house. True story. True story.
You can't make that story up. There's no one.
I know. If I made that story up, I'd be psychotic.
The thing that bothers me the most about your time at Graceland was that you walked right past. Was it which Jackson? Janet?
Janet
and didn't even say hello.
Dupree.
You didn't say hello.
Freaked me out. I was in my Michael Jackson bad t-shirt.
Wow.
You won't
I
have
might
that
have been-
opportunity.
I might have been a little intoxicated at the time.
My first concert was Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 in 1984.
No way.
Wow.
It's the Victory Tour.
Oh,
So whenever you go to those meetings and they're like, say something unique about yourself, that's always my like back pocket, like,
yes.
throw it on the table. Like, that's the best I got.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's the best. So yeah. No.
So Mark, we are all opening new agencies. So yeah, when was your start date of your new agency?
4/1, April 1st. Yeah, ECB is 4/1.
Cool, man. So we're all at different times.
Yeah.
You've been just crushing it.
It's been fun. It's been a ton of fun.
So what got you into insurance? Let's go all the way back and take us to the present.
Sure. So I'm actually a third generation Allstate agent.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
So
The pains.
honestly, I didn't want a boss, and I like to sell things that has value. I couldn't sell cars because to me, I'm not knocking car sales, but it's a one-time sale. I like relationship, and I just kind of got turned on to the idea of it, and I thought about it. Nobody wants to be an insurance agent. It's not on the sexy job list. And I did a couple things post college, had different careers here or there. Next thing you know, my dad and I were talking about it, and I said, all right, cool. And I had no idea what I was getting into. I sold for them for 2 years, and they basically told me at the time, if I'm able to do 30 items a month, which seemed like an act of God this 10 years ago, 11 years ago, if I do 30 items, I'll make chairman, which I didn't know what that meant, but it meant they gave me a bonus at the end of the year. And I said, I can do that. I'm selling 30. I was a salesperson. I'm selling 30 items. So I bought them and went, and I had no idea I was getting into. I was dead broke for 2.5 years. I mean, negative cash flowing because I didn't know what I was doing.
Just going in the hole.
Yeah, I didn't know what bills looked like. I didn't know what loans. I didn't know anything. So I just maxed out my credit cards, bonus, pay off my credit cards, and that was my business model for 24 months. And grew and grew and grew, and now we've got 3 locations, and thankfully we're paying off our credit cards monthly. And
there you go.
My producers are minimum expectation is 30 items a month, ironically. So
yeah, full circle.
Awesome. Yeah. So I mean, that's been the career, and now it's just this business is so different than it was 10 years ago, and I enjoy it a ton. I love sales producers, and I love the entrepreneur spirit that it seems like it's kind of infused it in our business right now. So that's kind of, I look at myself more as an entrepreneur that owns an insurance agency anymore that manages sales producers.
So 10 years ago, what'd they do? Hand you a phone book and say, start dialing?
God, I would buy we would buy internet leads. There was internet leads out then. And live transfers. And literally we would get them in. And my friend, I stole it from her. We get an email and we'd print the email out. And we had a sheet of paper like this big. And you can't see it on our podcast. It's an inch. And it would have the days. And we would write like Jason's name. And we'd LM, left message, LM. Like that was how we grew. And I just literally, I couldn't tell you what I closed. I just knew I had to get to 30 to bonus. And if I didn't bonus, I'd go bankrupt. I'd start bartending. So that was the business model.
Right.
It was really complicated. And yeah, I mean, and then if you didn't buy, and it was January, I had like a folder, then I'd take you 5 months back, and I'd put you in that month, and then June would come up, and we'd pull the folder out, and we'd start calling you. And this was our business plan for 24 months.
So pretty difficult to track and measure activity.
God.
Impossible.
The tools we have today is so amazing. I mean,
yeah.
So amazing. It's unbelievable.
Well, you talk to a lot of agents too, Mark. And the funny thing is there are still agents that are doing precisely what you just said. Maybe it's not on a piece of paper, right? But
well, my experience when we were doing the follow-up tool and all that is I learned a lot of that. Like this is our CRM. And I'm like, no. E-Agent's not a CRM for a lead or an LR, a lead management tool, right? You see me type that 1,000 times.
I know the gift that will come when somebody says they use E-Agent.
I know. I'm always like, no. Yeah. No. So, yeah. I mean, CRM, Zoom, podcast. I mean, all this technology is incredible.
Right.
It is. So take us through that. So you're that obviously led you all that sales experience and doing it that way led you to trying to develop a CRM. You guys came out with a great CRM. Talk about that experience.
Sure.
And talk about talk about that experience.
So yeah, honestly, my part, he did a podcast with you. I listened to my buddy Justin. We just started realizing that we had similar challenges, so we were just kind of complaining about CRMs. Why don't they do this? Why? And we talk to them and say, please just do this. And it never went that way. So we basically were like naive, arrogant, confident. I'm not sure the right word enough to go, we could do this. Yeah. And so we kind of dipped our foot into the water a little bit. And the first product of follow-up tool was his neighbor. We spent next to nothing on it. Created a website that all it would show you is you'd log in, you'd quote Craig, you put his name in, and then the next day it'd pop up and say call Craig. So then you went to your phone system and called Craig. Then it'd say text Craig, and then you went to your text system and you text Craig. Unbelievable. We went up like 25%. And I'm like, okay. So we just dove deep. We got connected with a great developer that helped us. Because I'm not an IT guy, I'm an idea guy. I want to tell you how to build the house, but I'm not getting out a hammer and nails. Right. Justin. And we worked our butt off. I mean, we just put in work, talked to agents we know and trust, and all we were trying to do It wasn't even about making money. Obviously, we want to make money. We're capitalists, but it was just about building a product that helped agents. We figured if we helped you, you'd pay us. Simple. And many hours of work we put in, but it was a ton of fun. Definitely got to meet a lot of people. That's Craig and I first met. Got to meet a bunch of different people that way. So that was super cool, and sold it February this year. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so Lightspeed knows it. I still think it's a great product, and those that use it, I still think it does a great job.
That is a crazy. So that's what were the challenges in making a SaaS product? I mean, I can imagine technology moves so fast, so you're trying to constantly add features. And how was it dealing with agents with technology?
We had no tech team. So we had a developer, but we had no ticket team. We were the ticket team. So
brutal.
And our goal, honest to God, when we launched the Monday after Easter Sunday. So whatever that day was in April, I don't remember the date. The only reason I know is I went to bed at 2:15, and we were launching a demo at 8 a.m. And at 2:15, the website wouldn't work. Couldn't get in. And so I went to bed, I closed my Surface Pro, laid down, I woke up 2 hours later, it's all I slept, logged in, and it opened. I was like, oh my God. And my developer, God bless him, he was awesome. He stayed up 30 hours straight.
Oh.
We're right there. And I don't know what that means,
Yeah.
And our goal was to have, it was 200 clients in 6 months. And that was users, that was an agency. So you can have 5, that we thought just grow it. And we had that within 2 weeks.
Yeah,
man.
And then it was working, and it just was crazy. And of course we're doing business on our cell phone, and we didn't even have an office phone. So Facebook messaging, hey Mark, I'm having a bug, and it's a Sunday at 8 a.m. So we go to, we worked 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Justin would have Facebook messages, and we would be 15 of them up, and it's just trying to help people learn it. And we were hands-on, and it was exhausting, but it was a lot of fun.
I bet. That's crazy.
Fun, yeah.
You're scaling a side hustle at the same time as you're scaling your primary business, right?
Yeah.
100%. What was that like?
It was different. I think the good thing is that it gave I've left change. It gave me confidence, and I know I'll fail at some business I try, but I'm okay with it at this point. You play 10 hands of poker, you're not winning them all. Not that we're gambling,
right,
but it just and it also made me somewhat automate my insurance business in a way where I had to start trusting people and putting them in places, because I wasn't working 50 hours a week on Allstate. I didn't have there wasn't enough time. And we still hit Inner Circle that year. That's an Allstate term. That's our highest, that highest level of trip. And we still hit our goals. It wasn't like the business just died. We had a phenomenal year, and I didn't have a choice. So it was cool. It definitely changes you 100% though. When you do something that, when I came to Allstate, I had clients and people I know buy insurance and they buy Allstate. When we created this, it was we might have 0 customers. We might invest all this money, and everyone's like, that sucks.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, it was cool though. It was a great experience, and Justin was a great partner, man. It's hard to have a business partner. Him and I got along really well.
That's awesome. And I think it goes to show like you learning through that experience, it just shows what period of time that we're in. And I think with all the changes that are happening with, some of the captive companies now, but just in general, we do have to try, and trying new things is what will take our agencies to that next level.
100%. Yeah. It's also good. I think, as agency owners, whether you're captive, independent, whatever, you're a business owner. Just like your stock portfolio, try to find other businesses to invest in, try to diversify. If your company becomes goofy, don't make that every dollar in your bank account. And that's kind of the lesson takeaway that we all need to keep in mind. We're business owners, whether it's real estate, whether it's what you guys are doing, you've got to find other buckets. So,
It is interesting. A lot of agents will say, "Oh, how do you have time? You know, like I have other businesses or this, the podcast," and they say, "How do you have time to do all those other things?" And I think doing those other things helps you find more time because you have to. Right? There's no option. Like Jason and I have made a commitment. Every Wednesday we're doing 3. We do 3 podcasts. Well, how do you pick up 3 hours? Well, when you pick up 3 hours, you find a way to shave off 3 hours elsewhere and automate, optimize, whatever, right? Get somebody else to do that thing that you would have been doing. And it's really,
yeah. And there's little things like, I get people there like, how do you have time? And I'm like, well, what time did you get up today? They're like, I got 30. Like, well, I had an hour and a half.
Sleeping in.
I had an hour and a half. I'm not every day at 5. I mean, there are the days you feel like crap, but I'm 4:30 to 5 every day. And you know what's crazy? I don't watch Seinfeld reruns from 10 to midnight anymore. I love Jerry. I love Jerry. He's a god. But it's like, okay, it's 10:15. It's a Wednesday. Let's go to bed. Get 6-7 hours and call it a day. Like, you just figure it out, you know?
Yep.
God bless energy drinks and
right.
You know, and working out. It helps solve those problems. But you find time. I hate when people say I don't have time. You find times for things that matter to you. So finding time means that you're better off saying, Craig, that doesn't matter to me. Fair enough.
Because that's true. Because everybody has 24 hours in the day. Mm-hmm. So does Trump. So does everybody.
You sleep
168 hours in the week. I mean, that's it.
You sleep 6 of them. That leaves you 18 hours. You don't need more than 6 hours sleep.
Right.
Yep.
My wife argues with that point.
No, but it's true. And I think more, I think going forward too, especially in this industry, we need to start figuring out ways to leverage time. Yeah. Because technology gives us that opportunity. People are harder to get a hold of. It's harder to sell insurance today than it was back in the folders days. You probably sold more per person you got a hold of. Now you got to get a hold of 5 times the amount. So use the technology to do that so that it's equal. Yep. And technology is incredible. I'll leverage anything I can to make my day easier. If I can outsource it, I'm all in. Yep. So
100%.
So talk to us about you were foldering it before you realized that a CRM was ultra important to your business. You developed one and then you sold it, and now you're opening a scratch agency. So what has been the secrets to your success? Because I know you are crushing it. I saw your I see your numbers, and
thank you.
Freaking awesome.
Well, I mean, part of the reason, so I've got a nice sized primary location. Like, we were doing great there. Like, it was paying the bills. We were killing it. I was happy, but I got bored. Like, I get bored, and if I get bored, it's a bad thing. Like, I just
yeah.
Like, I need something to do. It's like, if I'm bored in the summer, I'm gonna sit on my deck and drink a beer. And it's like, all right, that's 4 beers. I didn't need to drink 4 beers in a Wednesday. I need to go work. So I was bored. So that's where the idea. I was like, I've never done a scratch. Everything I've either grown organic. I bought a small and grew it and bought it. So like, that sounds like fun. And also, the more money I make as an agency owner, the more people I can hire. And the more people I can hire, I can then improve their lives, give them the opportunity to help and that's really, the whole, like, what's your why? It's like, I'm kind of past that now because everybody asks what's your why. It's like, that was fun. It's got a lot. Mine, honestly, is my team now. Like, if we write a lot of business, I can buy a lot more leads, and then they can make more commission, and it just continues to grow.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what it was. And I think the key, the reason we started the way we did, and with like gangbusters, one, we started hot day one, and that's the key. Day one, we were hot. And I identified a couple things. I mean, one, when it comes to hiring, I don't care about your resume, really. I try not to hire salespeople, like, per se. I really just focus on behaviors that I can't change. If you're not driven, I can't fix that. If you're not coachable, I can't fix that. And if you don't work hard, I can't fix that. I can teach you how to sell. I have I made a reference once, a joke, like, I'm not a Patriots fan, but Belichick's the best. You ever notice everybody goes to the Patriots, they have their best year ever? Because he's got these playbooks and these ideas. I'm not at that level. I'm not that, but we have a process that we put in place and we bring our team on. So I think having that, where everyone, the biggest problem people tell me all the time is I can't find staff. I can't find staff.
Right.
And that's I can't find good people. It's like, well, you're trying to find like a perfect person. Where I'm just trying to find the three traits I just told you about. And then we coach all the time.
And also, how often are you looking, right? Like you say, oh, I don't really interview. And you know, I know you're looking constantly. I'm always looking every day. I spend at least a little bit of time every day, or the telemarketers that we have will say, I'll say, hey, spend an hour, go through the Zip Recruiter, go through, just look, because you never know when somebody's discouraged and they're looking.
No,
right?
And my thing is like it's easier now. Like Facebook is the greatest thing ever. Now they're stealing all my information. I know that. I know you put on everywhere. Fine, give it to whoever. But like it's a billboard for us. Like I put posts out there, and I literally I was like, man, I need to add another service person to my team. So next thing you know, I had 15 resumes like within an hour. I paid $0 for it. We just put a post, talked about it, our culture. I never even described the job. Never. And so I think that's the secret sauce, the key to our success is like we get people in here, and we have a very unique agency atmosphere. Culture is everything.
Culture is everything.
Yeah. I mean, like if you walk in my office, you see guys like stand-up desks, headset, motivational posters on the board, rap music being played, whatever. I mean, like we're walking around. I mean, we're high-fiving because this job can be a grind. It can be hard. You got to bring a little joy, you know, and it's all that. So it's a little deep end.
So you must have had those periods of time where you had the wrong staff.
Sure. We all have.
Yeah. So I mean, how did you rectify? Let's say rectify that.
We still have wrong. I mean, there's still people that as we grow, they got to go. They're just not the right person on the team anymore. I think now it used to be an emotional conversation. Now it's just when I hire somebody, I let them know that they control their own destiny. Meaning if I have to fire you, it's your fault. I mean, I gave you the opportunity. So I don't get emotional about it. I wish them well. I genuinely care from a human being, but like if you're a salesperson here and you're not producing, there's easier ways to make, like I'm not paying you enough for this job. Like you can go get a much easier job making this money than do what I ask you to do. So,
right.
Typically with my organization, if like when I bring a salesperson on, I know within the first 6 weeks, like, if you're not working hard, I had a young lady, she lasted a day and a half. And I was like, listen. She's like, I understand. And it's like, why waste 6 weeks? It's not even fair to her.
Right.
You know? Let her go do something different.
Totally.
And yeah, we're always changing. I just promoted a sales manager the other day. So he's been with me 6 months. But he's the right guy for the job. So he's got that promotion. So we're constantly changing.
Do you ever, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. No, I'll stop. Go ahead.
Do you ever find yourself hanging on to somebody too long?
Not anymore. I used to. I hate to say that. I'll probably do it again next week and forget.
Yeah.
I'm less guilty of it now than I used to be. You still can always get better. I'm now looking at the traits. So if I'm coaching you and you're not hitting your numbers, but you're putting in the work, you're good with like just work. If you put in the work, we'll get you home. I may give you an extra 30 days because man, you're grinding, you're working, you're hustling, you're here to, you know, like you're not hitting your numbers and you're walking out the door at 5:30. I don't understand. I didn't build this agency working 40 hours a week.
Right.
You know? And so, but if you're here on a Saturday for 2 hours making dials, or at home, or at 7 o'clock at night, like, and your numbers are slightly below, I'll invest in you. I'll put in time. And some of those might come back to bite you at the end, but you're making the right mistake because you're investing in people that are giving it them all. If you're lazy or you're 5:30 out the door, numbers aren't there. I'm like, all right, Craig, it's been real. Like,
Yeah.
I go. Because you can't
Right.
change that.
No.
Yep.
Those behaviors, those being on time. I mean, it's the simple stuff. You see the posters, these 10 things that it takes no skill to do, right? Be on time, be honest, all those things. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy what people will say in the interview
I know.
to convince you. And then, within a couple days.
You do.
Well, it goes back.
Yeah.
It goes back to
In the
this.
interview. I tell them in the interview, like, I have this 90-day speech I give everyone. They're like, and I'll listen. I'll be like, hey, Jason, like in 90 days, you're going to be sitting across from me. One or two things is going to happen. One, I'm going to congratulate you on your amazing start, your new career, the blah, blah, blah. I said, and 100% that's your fault. I had nothing to do with it. I just gave you the opportunity. I said, and I said, and to be honest, the or probably happens before 90 days. I'm firing you. And I said, and that is also 100% your fault. So you choose.
Wow. I love it.
I say, on everyone. I say, everyone. I said, you choose what that is, Jason. But either way, when I go home that night, I'll sleep like a baby. Because you told me you were driven. You told me you're coachable. Well, I figured out within 3 weeks you were not. You just told me that in an interview. Your call. And I said that to every single one. So it's kind of, I mean, there's two ways for it to end.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Do you ever call them out on that? Do you say, remember how we had this conversation, or you just don't even go there?
If I'm letting you go, I'm not investing anymore in coaching.
Sure.
I've tried to help you get to where you are. I find like if you're firing someone, you're coaching them, it's almost condescending. I wish you the best.
Sure, of course. In the instance that you think they may have a chance, do you refer back to that?
Yeah. Well, so I had a coaching session with someone today who's putting in the work. He's driven, but he's not hitting the numbers. So like it's not terrible numbers, but it's average. And I just told him, like, listen, this is not a you're out the door conversation. Let's start with that. I'm investing in you. I'm doubling down.
Stress down.
Yeah.
Relieve a little stress.
Down,
He's like,
but I said, your numbers aren't where you should be. Your work doesn't equal the numbers. So I said, we're going to deep dive into why. We're going to do even more call recording coaching. We're going to invest a little more time in you because something doesn't add up. And you're showing me drive, but so right now you better show me coachable because we're going to do a lot more coaching with you. That kind of thing, Craig. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, somebody's being late and doing all this stuff. It's like how you do one thing is how you do all things. So it's like for that person, I mean, you can lay out the path for them, but if they're showing up late, they're leaving early, if they're that sloppy in those areas, they're going to be that sloppy on the calls, that sloppy when they're wrapping up with the client.
And you can't fix that.
No.
You can't fix that. I'm not their parent. That's a mom and
Right.
dad conversation, not a boss. So,
And those traits are deep.
Mhm.
Their
And
wives
once
are
you
getting
identify
pissed.
once you identify what you want your organization to look like, hiring becomes so much clearer. Like it's just, and trust me, this was not 10 years ago. I'd be like the same guy. Like I have no idea what I'm doing. I can't find anyone. But like throughout the last 2 years, where I figured out the guys and gals I want to work for me, and I could define them a little clearer, I can find them all over the place. And I mean, we've got gentlemen here that are former military, zero sales experience, 6 months out of the military. And it's like, they have all the traits. Let's go. So,
It's interesting. It's like with your marketing, you're looking for a certain demographic. You're looking for a certain persona for who you want to write for insurance. And in the same way as the agency owner, we're looking for a certain persona who we want to hire, and that's who we market to. And hopefully we catch, when we're casting that net, we're grabbing the most, the ones that fit what we're looking for.
100%. Yeah. And it's not easy, but it's fun. And it's fun to see people grow. Like I said, we went from, when I had my main location, we had 3 salespeople. We're up to 11 now. And that's in, 9-10 months. So
it's amazing. The scratch contract gives you the ability to really scale.
Yeah, and it's fun. I like coaching salespeople. I'm not a service guy. That's not where I find joy. I find joy from sales. I have an amazing service team, and they do amazing work, and God bless them every day. So, yeah,
they hold it down. They're the rock for the role.
yeah. I'm normally like, what do you need from me? What can I do to make your life easier? I'm all in. I'm a sales guy. Like I get sales. Yeah. So 100%.
Yeah. It is. It's what gets most of us going. Like, it's the fun.
Amen.
It's the fun.
Yeah.
So what's getting you the most excited about next year or the end of this year?
I'm already on to next year. Like I kind of like once Halloween comes to me, it's 2020 planning. I mean, there's a lot of changes in our industry. It doesn't matter if you're. Obviously, all state age doesn't matter. Independent things are changing. Mine is just I'm trying to basically get the organization even bigger. I mean, like I want to bring on 2 or 3 more salespeople. Like I just promoted I had like a young lady that would do operations and service or sales. I mean, as a manager, I just promoted her to 100% operation, and now I promoted a new guy to sales manager. We're 100 like. Every minute of his day is coaching and being involved in helping salespeople. So that's a new challenge because that's some of the things that I do. So now
how new is that?
How new is that?
Yeah, that promotion with the sales manager too.
He starts Friday.
Oh,
it's real new.
Real new.
Yeah, I mean he got promoted. Everybody knows about it, but he goes 11-1 is his first day, and so that challenge looks interesting to me, putting that in place. Plus, as we've grown, I mean, we need to get, we're always trying to clean up the organization, be a little bit more streamlined. I'm an idea guy. I'm not like, if you ask me like, hey, could you email me your 3 processes? I don't have but I could be better at that. So I'm trying to get better at that because that's how, as we grow as an organization, you need to have things written down somewhere. Like how do we do things? And because again, we went from last year we had 7, 8 employees, and this year we're at 19.
Wow.
Yeah, and you do that in 6 months, and you're kind of running around, you're shaking your head cut off.
We're herding cats. If you don't have processes, it can be.
And we have some, we just don't have enough. Yeah. We need to clean it up. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. Because honestly, my goal next year is to be much more entrepreneur, running it. Like I want to meet with my managers, and that's all. That's I have a Monday meeting at 10 a.m. with my sales, service, operations, and we talk for an hour, and then I do what I do for the next 5 days. And that might be in the agency some or whatever that looks like, because that's what excites me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So I think there's, even when I took over this agency that I'm at now, it was just me and pretty much one other person. And going to those next levels is tough. How would you approach that nowadays? Because there's going to be a lot of people listening to this that might have that small agency. It's like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this. How am I, going to get to that next level? What are Yeah.
I guess it just depends, what your next level is. Like if you're in the, two-person, $3 million agency, your next level shouldn't be $10 million, which should be how to get to 4. Like I've always done it like that. I carved out my goals, but I know where I'm trying to get to. I would, as a agency these days, everybody in your office has to be driving revenue into your agency. That's every minute of your focus. So if you have a service person and a salesperson in you, it's a common setup in some of our all-state agencies. Yep. If that service person is not driving sales into the agency by friends and family, umbrella, he or she's got to go, because everything you need to do needs to be sales driven. So start there. I mean, make sure you're coaching every day. A lot of people focus on things that I'm like, that coach, like talk to your salespeople, coach. And I don't think that was happening in our business 24 months ago. You hear scripts, but scripts isn't coaching. That's just so. And Be aggressive with your hiring. You know, a lot of people are like, I have 2 salespeople. Well, hire a third. It doesn't take that much for them to make you money, even if it's not money in 2020, because you're pushing 2021, 2022.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't take much to break even. You know,
Right.
You don't want to keep a bad salesperson on, but don't be afraid to, you know, I always like the mentality, if you think you need 5, you should hire 8. You know, if you need 10, hire, you know, and with our new contract, our compensation at our company's changing, and, you know, it's good and bad. And you know, they didn't ask my opinion, so I won't give it. So, but I'm, you know, but they're paying us more for new business, bottom line.
Yep.
So look at that as if you're, you know, 1 or 2 person shop in our business, take advantage of it. If you know, and I lose money in every piece of new business I write. If you're doing it right, you are. I don't know exactly what I'm losing, but I'm losing. But to me, build your annuity. Build your,
Right.
it's like a house, you know,
Yep.
and get.
You're going to pay taxes on it.
Yeah, trust me. I'm very aware of that. I loved your account.
Might as well.
Yeah. I love the
Might as well
woman
read
tax savings. I've listened to that podcast
awesome.
like three times.
I know.
Like, God bless her.
My brain was melting when we were talking to her. I'm just like,
You
wait,
said
what?
that, and I'm like, okay, good. I don't, like you said it, and I'm like, okay, I'm not the only guy that thinks I'm a little, like, I felt dumb. I'm like,
Yes.
I'm not smart enough to understand this, but I'm going to listen to it again.
My kids are
We
doing
actually-
marketing now.
Yeah.
We just met with her yesterday, Craig and I.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's awesome, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
More
she's
knowledge
awesome.
nuggets when we were talking to her.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, have her on again.
Yeah.
I'll listen to her every time she's on.
Seriously.
Yeah, she's great. So, I mean, my advice would be to continue to hire salespeople, and drive sales. You have to drive sales. You're either shrinking or growing. Nobody stays the same.
Yep. It's almost like if you want to get further, if you want to get, 3 steps ahead, you have to take 2 steps back and then take 5 steps forward.
Yeah,
Is that the math?
you made sense.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. I think you were still I mean, the years that I wasn't as successful as I should have been were the years that I didn't stretch as far as I should have stretched. I mean, there was one year that I think like my 5th year as open or 4th year, I really can't remember. We're doing like 65 items a year, let's say. I'm ballparking the number. And I said my goal the following year, my big meeting with my team, was 75 items. That was my big goal. Okay. The second month in February, we did 135.
Boom.
Which tells me I was a crappy agency owner, because like I literally capped. So like now it's like make the goal 150, and if you got to 130, it's better than being at 80. You know, that's Cardone 101. But
Yep.
Yeah.
you know, but I remember when I read Cardone, I'm like, yeah, he's right. That was really stupid.
It's those limiting beliefs, right? It's what
It is.
It's what you set the bar so low for yourself at times. I mean, I do. I'm not saying you,
Everyone
but like
does.
and then when you hit that bar, you're like, wow, why didn't I just do that?
I know. I remember in the state of Indiana, if you wrote 100 items, you were like a crowning, like as an agency owner, if you wrote 100 items in a month, I mean, they would treat you like Coming to America and throw down rose petals at your feet. And like,
Good
now,
reference.
like, I had producers in my agency write 100 items.
That's
And it's
amazing.
like, yeah, we'll do 40 in a day. And I remember when I started, I wanted to do 30, 35 in a month. It's just,
Yeah.
so I don't know what it'll look like in 5 years. Maybe we're talking about doing, 100 in a day. I don't know. If we'd done this 5 years ago, I never would have thought that our goals would be like they are today. So
That's
it's just
cool.
changing.
It is.
100%.
So what would be the number one piece of advice that you give to insurance agents out there for today, in today's climate?
I would say this, the biggest, I love Marcus Lemona's people, processes, and product, that whole thing, the profit. And, our product's our product. We can't change that. We sell what we sell. Work in your process. But people is normally the number one challenge that agency owners have, in my humble opinion. Everybody talks about leads, whatever. They're the same. I don't care.
Yeah.
Buy a lot of them and figure it out.
Yeah.
But people are hard. And right now, we're working. Unemployment's low. So be creative in your hiring, meaning don't look for the guy or gal that has prior experience. Don't look for the salesperson. Look for the traits that fit your business. You can't teach drive. I promise you, I've never seen anybody get taught drive. You have it or you don't. So like if you looked at my crew who are killing it, I mean, I've got people that are driven, but I have one guy I brought on board that had sales experience. Everyone didn't. So don't worry about the resume and use Facebook. It's free. If you guys seen some of my posts, I mean, I can't find good, like if people are on the resume companies posting their resume, they're probably not that great. In my market, they're not that great a candidate because they don't need to look for a job. The job market's so good, people are looking for them. So you have to be aggressive. So when we go out there, we recruit and beg you to come interview with us. And then once you interview and you want the job and we have you in, then we scare you and try to talk you out of it.
Especially a licensed producer, right? If a licensed producer is up looking, then there's something wrong.
No.
Because if one of my licensed producers that's producing results wants to leave, I'm going to do whatever I can to retain that person because the cost of that replacement and the training is tens of thousands of dollars.
100%.
Right? So there's no way that person, that marlin, bluefin tuna is just looking and you just happen to grab them, right?
I don't even search insurance agents on, like if I'll do a search, I'll search like car sales or Army, or like I'll do like some,
bar manager.
Yeah. And then what we'll do, so here's another tip what we do. If you use any of these companies, they give you the option like email your resume. I don't do any of that. So if I find like a Jason Feltman, I see him and I like his resume on Indeed or whatever company you're using, we'll copy your name and put it in Facebook, and then we'll find you on Facebook.
Ooh.
Here's why it's great. If you're talking politics left and right, I'm out on you. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care if you're left or right. I'm out. Yeah. But if I see a like of Cardone or a like of something that shows personality, we'll literally send you a friend request. You gotta do that first, and then we'll message you after you accept it. And be like, hey Jason, saw your resume on wherever. Think you'd be a great fit for our organization. Would love the opportunity to talk sometime. Never say interview. I just want to talk to you, Jason. And we literally built our entire team doing that. But
that's awesome.
Love that.
Then you see the people too. You see what they're about. Like I see a wife, I see a kid. I get to know who this guy is.
Yeah.
If I see conspiracy theories about flat Earth and all this, I'm like, I'm out of that guy. True story. That came up in an interview. He told my sales manager that he believes the Earth's flat.
No.
I'm not judging those listening that think that, but I just don't want you on my team.
I mean, isn't there some scientific data that indicates otherwise?
Yeah, I love conspiracy theories. We talk about some with JFK, I'm in. But the flat Earth one, I just kind of like I'm bad at science, but I believe that science.
I mean, I've flown in an airplane over the ocean, and you can see the curve.
Yeah. Again, I love conspiracy theories. We can do a deep dive in a lot of fun ones. But that one, I'm like, that just doesn't, you wouldn't even, I'll even listen to your fake moon landing conversation over flat. So, well, yeah, I mean, that would be my tip, man. It's just people. It's just people. Yeah. And be creative and you're recruiting people. You're not hiring. Stop hiring people, start recruiting. And that's the difference. It's a mentality change.
Or trying to turn somebody's personality that's coming in a little negative. And like, it is amazing how one person with some negativity can wreck the whole team, just destroy it.
Negativity is like cancer. Once it gets in, gosh, it can spread anywhere.
You got to cut it out.
And honestly, that's something I probably didn't get a good grip on about 24 months ago. I had a producer that she produced some things, but she was negative. And I would do whenever she starts saying, there's excuses about to follow. And they're comma, but. And man, like I fired him like the next day, it's like 100-pound weight off the shoulders. And I'll do, you own a business, you'll do stupid things.
Yeah.
I'll do a stupid thing next week, I'm sure.
Hey, as long as we learn from those stupid things, then we're not stupid.
Exactly.
You got to go through it to learn it. to get
Amen.
to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 100%.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much for all your time. I think the hiring was a huge, you dropped some huge knowledge nuggets in that, especially when it came to the approach.
Yep.
You hire for a job, you recruit for a team. And it's like, I love that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man.
And having a talk, not an interview, right?
Yeah.
Make it different.
Yeah. When I talk to somebody, I talk more about who they are. The only real question I ever ask anybody anymore is, tell me something that's not on your resume. Because honestly, I didn't even look at their resume half the time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all lies. They made it all.
I don't care. I don't care if you went to college. I don't care.
Right.
So enjoy the podcast, guys. You guys are doing good stuff, man.
Thanks.
So,
Appreciate
Thanks,
it, Mark.
man. Well, we appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on here. I think it'll definitely help some agents out there. That's for sure. Help me, man. I love the recruiting tips.
Hey, no problem, man. Appreciate you guys a lot, man. Enjoy the day, and we'll talk soon.
All right,
man.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
55% of insurance sales producers say that they have had little or no sales training. Us agents focus on marketing to drive activity and often overlook the sales presentation. Improvements in mindset, shifting focus, rapport, needs diagnosis, value building, creating buy-in, and overcoming objections lead to drastically better closing numbers. The solution? Enroll your team in September's Sales Summit offered by Agency Vault. We will even assess your team to see which of their sales steps need the most improvement. Head to agencyvault.com to sign up before it's full.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Insurance Dudes. Hey, please subscribe. We got some really great stuff coming out.